Hi, beautiful Pisces. I'm Katie. Welcome to the channel, and we're going to start your June reading. All right, so to start it off, I have this affirmation deck. That's kind of the overall theme for your reading, okay? Spiritual alignment puts my manifestation into motion. I love this. Sorry, I laughed because I felt like I was kind of feeling this a little bit before. I always meditate before doing these readings, and I was kind of, yeah, anyways. Okay, so let's see, what does Pisces need as far as spiritual alignment and manifestation? The first two cards that came out are very similar in color. I always find that interesting. I don't know why. Okay, so the first one we have is Root Girl, the disowned self. And I'm definitely feeling that in order to become more spiritually aligned, there's something that you need to let go of. Some, I don't want to say aspect of yourself, it's more a belief system, some sort of belief you need to let go of. And it could be something around your ability almost to manifest. That I'm feeling like for some of you that you're doubting that you can kind of call things into your life and kind of create the life that you want, and that's just simply not true. So you've got to figure out what that belief system is for you, though, and how you're going to disconnect from that. Okay, I definitely feel like it's something that's been long rooted is what I was going to say, but I don't know that that's like really appropriate. Not appropriate. Not like clarifying enough. But I just felt like it's something that's been deep rooted within you, like a deep rooted belief that you need to identify and somehow let go of. There's a really great meditation you can do that once you identify it, you picture it, the idea like embodying you, and then you comb it off of you into a flame, and then the universe takes it from the flame and kind of recycles that energy. I can tell you more about that, but anyways, the next one is tidy house. So clarity and organization. These are the ones, see how similar they look. I feel like with this one, again, like it's more about gaining clarity on what this kind of block is. There's definitely like a block, and it has, again, it's like that deep rooted belief system. But it almost, for some of you, feels like you just don't know what it is. Like it's there, you can feel it, but it just doesn't quite make sense. Like it doesn't feel tangible to you or like truly understandable. And so that's why this house came up. I'm also feeling like for some of you, it takes up a lot of your mind strength. It takes up, you think about it a lot is a better way of saying that. Jeez. You think about it a lot, and so it's taking a lot of your time because it bothers you. You want to be able to move past it, but again, you don't have that clarity of exactly what it is, so it's kind of, there's a lot of frustration here too. As you're going through this process, we have, what is this one called? Cosmic Womb. This is the divine feminine, and you have to go through this process with a sense of nurturing yourself through it, if that makes sense. Like you need to be kind to yourself and patient. And if you're not gaining the understanding that you want, that's okay. There is such a thing as divine timing, and maybe, the timing is off. But I definitely think that this needs to be nurtured, this process, this evolution you're going through. There needs to be nurturing and a nurturing element to it, okay? We also got, I always think it's interesting when these two come up by each other. Okay, so see that, and then we've got this one, the Dragon's Horde. They just seem really similar to me. Like this one, like the ghost, almost. Sorry, I need to enunciate. Almost like the ghost of this one, or the spirit, right? Again, I made that correlation because spirit is always with you, and you need to remember that they are with you through this process, okay? So with this one, I feel like you're kind of like that little part is whatever this block is for you, and you're holding it. Oh, and you're like nurturing it, right? You're kind of cradling it within you, but you're frustrated because you can't get to these keys. It's like you want to connect the dots. You want to feel like you have a grasp on what this is because you want to fix it and you want to move forward and past it, right? But for some reason, you're supposed to just sit in this. You're supposed to just kind of sit in this energy of unknowing, I guess, which is not very fun. Okay, what else does Pisces need to know? Okay. Got a lot of the dust devil, it seems like. Okay. As you're going through this process, I think something that's going to bring a little bit of, okay, it's going to bring a little bit of clarity. Just hear me out, okay? So we've got repairing the veil. This is forgiveness. You need to forgive yourself for being in this state. I laugh because it just seems silly, like we can't help the state that we're in, right? You are in this current mental and spiritual state, which feels kind of frustrating for a reason. And so you need to be gentle with yourself and just forgive yourself for everything that has come before this moment, okay? Whatever that looks like for you. For some of you, like you need to forgive yourself for your failures because they're not really failures and you need to start looking at them that way, or at least you're invited to look at them that way. Because those things that you've failed at have gotten you to this point. And you're to a very, what's the word? I mean, powerful is what comes to mind. Like you're going through this shift where you're going to have an understanding that is very deep and very complex, an understanding of this, of life, of this human experience and the spiritual experience. And you're just like right there on the cusp, but you have to go through whatever you're going through right now for you to understand that duality, right? And that process. There are definitely inspiration. I think some of you are a little frustrated because you feel like inspiration has left. You just don't feel very creative right now. And I think part of that is because you're gearing up for this really great understanding, this really powerful awareness, again, of like life, of this duality between human and spiritual and all of that, okay? You do need to understand that there are hidden treasures in the shadows. So while this could feel like a dark moment for you, it's funny because I feel like, I mean, you're Pisces, so you're like the end of the zodiac, right? You've been through a lot. I feel like this isn't, when I say shadows and darkness, it's not like as heavy as some people might interpret it. Because what's heavy to you, it's just different because you guys are just different beings because, again, you've experienced a lot. You've had many lives here and you've, gained a lot of understanding. But right now, it's almost like you just need to be okay sitting in this space of non-creativity. And I know it's super frustrating for you guys because you're very creative beings. But there is hope because you are moving out of stagnation soon. Okay, you just have to go through this process and then the stagnation is going to stop and you're going to be able to move forward, okay? So part of moving out of that stagnation is we've got the Fool's Embrace, which is transmuting pain. And then we have, what's this one called? In the Hand. This is having faith that the universe is supporting you, right? Having faith that you're at this stage right now for a reason. Because you guys here, beautiful Pisces, you came down here to really have an experience, to have a deep connection with this experience, because you guys are capable of doing that. You understand things, complex things. Again, that duality between human and spiritual, and that just the experience of both of those, right? But I don't feel like I need to say this because I feel like you guys know this, but you are always supported, which is why I think your darkness never looks as hopeless, because you guys always know that you have that support from the universe, God, spirit guides, whatever source you believe in, okay? So that, I feel like that kind of came out to help with the stagnation. So I want to pull some more. Another row. Well, okay. I feel like some of you are like searching for like the meaning of life, your life's purpose, life's path, right? Because again, you guys are like complex little beings, sweet little Pisces. Okay. Okay, so first thing is ego sublimation. Right now is a good time. So if you, I feel like this card came out because you want to get spiritually aligned, but you also want to manifest some pretty cool shit, right? Like you want to level up, you want to be better, you want to have, you know, a better lifestyle, okay? Part of that is going to come when you can let go of the ego, when you can let go of external influences and really, really look at yourself. Like if you were to look at yourself through a mirror and see your reflection as you truly are, not the sugar-coated version that we tell people, like, what really do you want? And it's okay if it's like, you know, material stuff. Like, again, that's part of the human experience, is being able to experience the material world at its fullest. And so right as I said that, I feel like that's, some of you need to forgive that. Forgive the fact that you're wanting material things. You're wanting wealth. You're wanting abundance. You're wanting recognition. All of those things are part of the human experience. And the human experience is just, I was going to say just as beautiful as the spiritual experience, but I don't know that I personally believe that, because I think the spiritual experience brings so much. But it's okay for you to want material things, okay? That doesn't make you a bad person. That doesn't make you less spiritually, you know, inclined or whatever. But getting back to this card, take a good look at yourself and be honest with what it is that you want, okay? Because that's part of what's blocking you from manifesting that, is because you're not very clear. You're not being, it's not that you're not clear, you're just not being honest, okay? And it might feel, so this is dances on one foot, balancing act. It's a constant balancing act, right? Living in the material world and living in the spiritual world, and having those coexist within you can feel exhausting, but you're doing it and you're capable of doing it. And I think that if you can just keep moving forward, being honest with yourself, the balancing act is going to become easier, okay? Maybe you'll switch feet and you'll give your other foot a rest. One thing that you need to be mindful of, or not mindful of, but remember, we have crown games, the right use of power. Again, okay, see how this is kind of, I feel like this is like the spiritual world, this is more like the material world, and you just feel like you're caught in the middle of it, and you're trying to figure out how you coexist in both. And this card here is to remind you that you do coexist in both. You're royalty, right? You have everything that you need in order to have both of these types of experiences. Okay, the worldly human experience and the spiritual experience. Like you're coexisting, you're doing this. So don't forget that you have the capability of doing it, because you already are doing it. which is funny because we end, if these go hand in hand, right? We've got spiritual, and I feel like that has been your struggle for a little bit. But you hold all of the magic. You hold everything that you need in order to live in both of those worlds. And again, it's not like dark versus light, good versus evil. Like, it's just a part of this journey, right? Material world, human experience, spiritual world, spiritual energy, that experience, all of that coexists. And you're kind of I feel like you've forgotten your power and your ability to coexist in both. Okay. All right. I want to just do one more. Benefactor Grace. I knew this was going to come out. I felt this during the last two cards. This card for you, Benefactor, whatever you believe in spiritual wise, right? So if you believe in God, in source, in spirit guides, whatever that looks like, they are always here with you, co-creating this life, right? They're helping you manifest. They're giving you the things that you need in order to go down, the path that you're supposed to be going down, which at times can feel very topsy-turvy. But you need to remember that they're always here with you. They're always just like, got y'all nestled in there, and they're taking care of you. Okay. So I want to end this reading just with your affirmation card again. Spiritual alignment puts my manifesting into motion. So when you are able to be that person that is in between both worlds, that is when you can manifest and get everything that you want out of this life. Okay. Pisces, I love you. You're such little spiritual beings. You're so powerful. Okay, that is your reading. I hope that you liked it. Please like and subscribe so I can continue to grow this channel, and I hope to see you next time.